Okay. Just let me check. Okay, it's capturing the voice. Good. So let's continue where we stopped yesterday. What we'll do today is we'll do a quick slideshow, maybe, to understand the entire Rourkela Hockey Pro, and then we will try to run through a few simulations. Okay. Again, as I mentioned, all the comments, all the questions in the comments. Okay, Adobe. Okay. So view full screen. Yeah. So I hope my screen is visible. Let me just check once. Yes. So the screen is visible. It's so this is Rourkela Hockey Pro. We'll do a quick 10 slider at max, and then we'll also show you a demonstration. It's a team analysis and simulation platform, and it's available on Mac OS. The link is there in the pinned comment of the stream. Okay, so the message is pinned. That takes care of any questions. So those who want to follow, they can download and follow as well, right? So a quick start guide, system overview, some what makes this Rourkela Hockey Pro unique, some live demo, and we'll show some features and take up any questions that there are, and finally we'll show the technical specifications of Rourkela Hockey Pro. So once you launch the Rourkela Hockey Pro app from macOS launcher, it opens a screen that looks like this. It will open it in your default browser, and the default setup is India versus Belgium. So this is how it looks like on the screen. It says Rourkela Hockey Pro Ultimate Team Analysis and Simulation page, and then it has some controls which I'll explain next. So this system has 5 unique capabilities. One is it has strategy formation auto linking, which where when you select counter attack or defense or attack offensive strategy, it automatically selects the formation and also selects the players from the Indian squad of 24. It automatically selects 11 players, puts them into the formation so that you get a strategy linked formation prioritized based on performance, right, and player performance and ranking. So it's completely linked. It has real player data. It has rosters with 12 attributes and actual statistics. It has environmental intelligence built in because the weather affects performance. So these performance modifiers can be seen. We have multi-dimensional analysis of players. So we have 12-point radar charts for team and player comparisons, and we are using advanced Monte Carlo simulation for bringing in momentum and variance, and addressing any randomness or any surprise element during a game so that the same can be simulated. So this is an example of what the basic team comparison looks like. If we compare any two team, the performance, which is an aggregate of all the team members across all the 12 parameters, is shown in the form of a radar chart, and the chart that has the larger area shows a better team, and it shows Belgium is stronger in technical skill, etc., than India, and it also shows where India is better than Belgium in which areas. So next is we have strategy formation auto linking. So the moment you use attacking or counter attack as a strategy, the formation automatically switches and selects the best player, whether it's 4-3-3, 3-4-3, 5-3-2, with an option for you to manually override the selection. So when you manually override the selection, it ensures that your selection gets reflected during simulation. So it gives you out of the box ready-made templates, but it also allows you some configurability to make your own team if you feel that the suggestions from the inbuilt intelligence is not good enough. You can build your own team and then run some simulations. Then is the weather impact analysis. So what we have demonstrated is how environmental conditions affect the match prediction, and the baseline is 22 degrees Celsius common in February in evening, 60% humidity and 10 kilometer per hour wind, and this leads to modifiers near 100%, so that there is no degradation in performance, but we can simulate the same software. We can simulate conditions using the same software for hot and humid condition, where temperature goes up to 38 degrees Celsius, the humidity goes up to 85%, and which shows the impact on speed and the drain on stamina. The same way, you can also increase the wind speed and see the impact on pass accuracy, shot accuracy, and get the alerts. We also have player level analysis. So we have live demo scenario where we have head-to-head player comparisons. The system automatically picks top players across different positions where they play, and it generates matchups, and like top scorer versus top defender, midfield duel, defender versus striker, and speed battle. For example, Arthur Van Doren against Mandeep Singh is considered one of the best matchup, and so it's built in as part of the tactical IQ in the system. Finally, we have the advanced simulation showcase. It uses Monte Carlo simulation engine with up to 10 million iterations for each team configuration selected, and then there are some uh, some randomness parameter that can also be added to ensure that the system configures and runs those simulations, and results come up around in 2 seconds, and for 10 million iterations it may take 5 to 10 seconds. We have momentum, variance, form factor, fatigue. They all help in modeling the real scenario. So key differentiators of this simulation software as compared to others is a real-time squad validation, so that it prevents any invalid lineups. Suppose only 9 players are selected and the simulation is run, or so those real-time squad validation happens. It gathers intelligent player ratings, so the attribute weighting for position specific where each player is playing, and how it impacts the team dynamics and team composure and team performance. That's part of Rourkela Hockey Pro. And we have multi-team comparison, so that we can quickly compare 3 national teams. This system is also can be extended to uh, clubs and other leagues where other teams can be ingested, and then their simulations can be run. And it's easy to add new teams by defining players, and this can be done using a programming language, or can also be done by uploading the team rosters. Uh, if there are any questions, I'll take those questions, like insights into simulation accuracy, specific player specific analysis, or future roadmap. Or you can also send the questions to this email address on the screen. The technical specification of this software is it's built on lightweight web-based framework, so that the interfaces are very responsive. It uses, again, easy to deploy visualization software, which can help in generating faster and more innovative charts, and create and simulate multiple scenarios, so that the speed of deployment is and speed of utilization is faster. We have advanced computation library built in to ensure that complex mathematical operations can be performed to adhere to the modern hockey standards. We have an integrated data model to ensure that data type consistency is ensured and integrity is maintained during the analysis. In this program, we have used following algorithms for core formula, which is base win probability is dependent on team rating difference between 2 teams, and the final probability depends on the base, and then it adds the weather modifier, home advantage, strategy modifier, form, and fitting. Finally, we have score simulation built in. The score simulation shows the distribution of goals that we expect to be scored in a match with the current matchup based on the current lineup, and it uses Poisson distribution for goal generation. And expected goals are given by, again, a quick difference in the matchup between team and opponent, and it's adjusted for weather, and then it's randomized using Poisson with expected goals as the key attribute factor, or lambda, in Python, in Poisson distribution. So with that technical specification and presentation with us, let's minimize this and let's go and take a run at the software. So what we'll do is we will do the first scenario, right? So what does the first scenario look like? The first scenario is, for the interest of everyone, I will add I'll add the scenarios on top here, right? So the first scenario is basic team comparison. So how do you do a basic team comparison? Or I can show it to you here. Let me browse, and yeah. So what I'll do is I will show you the first scenario, which is basic team comparison, and then we'll show how the team performs here, right? So the basic team comparison, you will see India versus Belgium selected here. um, I can go to the team analysis squad here, which is shows India's overall rating and against Belgium, and the strategy we can select as balanced with 4-3-3, and then it shows the overall rating and the squad comparison. And this composition has a radar chart built in on this game strategy, how India ranks as against Belgium. There are two overlapping shapes here, and which shows which team is. So India and Belgium are almost matched in speed and acceleration and physical strength, but there are some gaps in technical skills and tactical intelligence, right? Uh, so then we can, with this information, we can quickly go to tactical insights and see again the formation, environmental impact, and strengths and weaknesses. And the system calculates overall ratings automatically based on 12 player attributes. The radar chart gives you instant visual understanding, and the bigger area means stronger team. This is real data coming from actual player statistics from international hockey, and this is the first example of how basic team comparison can be done by selecting a game strategy and then by understanding the relative strengths of two teams based on a particular game strategy. So let's go to the second scenario. The second scenario is strategy impact demo, right? So strategy impact demo, what we'll do is we'll start with the same India versus Belgium balance strategy, and we'll go to the squad builder tab here, and then it shows the current build-up, which has Suraj Karkera, Amit Rohidas, Jarmanpreet, Harmanpreet, and Jugraj Singh. And then we have so in defenders we have these four. Then we have midfielders Hardik, Vivek, and Manmeet Singh, and we have forward as Mandeep Singh, Abhishek, and Sukhjit. So this shows the current formation. So squad is already populated with the best 11 players for this formation in India. So, and if we come down the squad status box, which selects that 11 out of 11 is selected, current is this, and the required is this, as it is matching. So it is all good. So if we go ahead and change from balance to attacking, you can see that this squad immediately changes to 3-4-3, right? So then the squad repopulates to 3 defenders, Amit Rohidas, Jarmanpreet, and Harmanpreet. So you see Jugraj Singh going away, and then you have 4 midfielders. So you see Rajinder Singh coming into picture, while the 3 forwards remain the same. And then you will see again the squad status changing and selected player names also coming up here. So this auto repopulate happens, and it intelligently selects different players. It picks more attacking minded midfielders and forwards. So it picked Rajinder Singh over Ravi and Dilkant Sharma and Rosen Kuzur. So next is how do we see same for different third strategies. So if you select counter attack strategy, see how quickly the formation changes to 5-3-2. So it has 5 defenders, 3 midfielders, and 2 forwards. And system again selects the best rated player for each position automatically for defenders, midfielders, and forward. So if we want to manually select, suppose we feel that so Amandeep is better than Jugraj, for example, and then we remove Jugraj and select Amandeep. It allows you to select this formation, and then you would see Amandeep Lakra coming in here in the squad, right? So it is manual change and manual update is allowed. So you can test specific player combination, or if you want to rest a star player, if it's not a critical match, you can rest a star player and play someone else, right? So this matters because traditionally coaches manually select 11 players. They manually arrange formation and manually ensure tactical fit. If you do it manually, the entire selection of players, it takes around under 15 minutes per configuration, and then in selecting and ensuring tactical fit. In this approach, changing a strategy drop-down automatically populates the squad and it reconfigures within 2 seconds. So it's highly useful and creating a squad formation. And that concludes our strategy impact demo, which had in which we saw squad builder and we saw the impact of strategy on the player formation and why it matters. Next is we'll go to weather impact analysis, which is scenario 3. So let's go to scenario 3, and here we'll select again India versus Belgium, and we'll have a balanced strategy here. And in this case, we'll go to tactical insights tab here. You can see that the environmental impact and the performance modifiers are all 100% at 22 degrees Celsius, 60% humidity, and 10 km/h wind speed. So what we'll do is we'll simulate a situation where the scenario is a hot and humid condition, which is quite common in Rourkela, right? Or anywhere in the world. So let's keep it around 38 degrees Celsius, right? Let's increase the humidity from 60 to 85%, and then let's keep the wind at 10, and then you will see that the performance modifiers coming into picture. So you'll see the speeds falling, so the players are moving slower. The stamina drain is higher, so the players are fatiguing faster, and there is an alert which says that there will be increased fatigue and reduced speed. And then with these conditions, when you run a Monte Carlo simulation, it will show you how each team is going to perform in these environmental conditions. So the same thing is for windy condition as well. So we can let's bring this temperature back to somewhere around 22 degrees Celsius, right? And then let's bring the humidity back to around 60%, so that all these modifiers become 100%. What if it's a windy condition? So in that case, we can set the wind speed to around 35 km/h, right? And then you will see again the impact on the performance modifiers immediately. You will see that the pass accuracy has come down to 88%, shot accuracy has come down to 85%, and the impact of this is it's very hard to control ball with this 88% pass accuracy. The ball control leads to missed passes and gives opponent the opportunity to break the play, and then counter attack becomes very common. And then you have shot accuracy coming down, due to which the shooting gets affected. So these two factors which impact both the baseline penetration as well as goal conversion are impacted by environmental conditions, and which are simulated here, right? Then we have an alert also on the screen which says that strong winds, passing and shooting accuracy significantly reduced. So it shows the impact on the system. And then we have a simulation running in this scenario as well. So now if we run the simulation with this scenario, we will have very different wind probability. So if we can show this, for example, let's keep wind speed to 10, so that the performance modifiers are all 100. Let's go to simulation, and then let's run only for small, like 10,000 iteration, a very small simulation. And here let's do it for standard condition, and let's run this simulation. It shows India in a winning situation with around 38% win probability. So this 38% win probability will come down the moment we change the to hot and humid. So suppose we make 22 to 38, somewhere around 38 and increase humidity to around 85, and then we run the simulation. This has immediately fallen down to 33, as you can see here. So this because weather affects both teams differently based on their endurance stats. So based on the endurance statistics, we can see that how each team will perform, and based on that we can simulate and predict win probability. And you can see all statistics in the score analysis and whether it's going to be high scoring or low scoring. Everything changes with weather, right? So let's bring it back to normal 22 degrees Celsius here, and bring the humidity to around 60, which was the default, so that our performance modifiers are still at 100, right? So if you are preparing for a match in Rourkela in the month of May, it's 40 degrees Celsius and 80% humidity. The system tells you exactly how that will affect the player performance and match outcomes. So you can adjust your playing tactics accordingly, right? So that concludes our scenario 3, which is the weather impact analysis. And then we will go to scenario 4, which is player level analysis. Okay, let's go back here, and for scenario 4, let's go to player matchups tab and see the key player matchups for India versus Belgium. So you would have top scorer versus top defender. You have Mandeep Singh versus Alexander Hendricks. You would have Hardik versus Felix de Nair, both in midfield. So you have midfield duel, and then we have defender versus striker. So we have Harmanpreet versus Trombone, and then we have Abhishek versus Augustine. This is for the speed battle. So these are auto-populated radar chart for each player based on all 12 attributes, and so that this is very handy for coach to feed more data from warm-up sessions or recent form, and see the updated matchups with the team that they are playing, right? So this shows where one player has better defensive capability, whether one player has better technical skill, and then it helps the coach say that Mandeep's best chance is using pace to get behind Van Daren. So because as you can see here, the pace of Mandeep is higher as compared to Van Daren. So Mandeep can use this speed and acceleration to get behind Van Daren and then play to his strength, and which is the weakness of Van Daren over here, right? So enabling Mandeep to play his best game becomes a very key insight or a key game defining movement here, right? And what coaches can do is that coaches can use this for pre-match briefings. At present, they do have their clip pad, and some teams use iPad, but those applications are not sophisticated and data driven enough to capture such detailed, exhaustive mapping of each player performance based on real time data coming in and with the most updated data coming in, right? So these 4 matchups, for example, midfield duel, defender versus striker, speed battle, these 4 critical matchups can change the face of the game and ensure that one team performs significantly better as compared to another, right? So if a coach has such matchups available and can tell this during at the beginning of the game to the players, and players can focus on those matchups and win those moments, it's highly likely that the team who utilizes the data better will go ahead and win that match, right? So this player matchups in simulation and analysis helps. So that concludes our scenario 4, which was player level analysis. Let's go to scenario number 5, which is advanced simulation showcase. So let's go to advanced simulation showcase, and right, so we'll show, because the matches are not predetermined, there is a bit of randomness and variability in a match. So we are building that variability and randomness in the match using Monte Carlo simulation, and we have ensured that our models can handle up to 10 million iterations uh, for one simulation, and it allows some changes and some statistical analysis to be done on top of data, and it is highly configurable so that if some realistic scenario mapping needs to be done, it can be done, including weather conditions and features, right? So what we'll do is we'll go to simulation tab, we'll select counter-attack strategy for India instead of well balanced. So counter-attack strategy, the formation changes, and then we'll select India versus Argentina here instead of India versus Belgium. And then instead of running 10 million, let's run 10,000 iterations. And then we'll enable the confidence interval, it's here, and score distribution. And let's click on run simulation. It will run for around a second, and it shows the results immediately of the simulation. The system, what it did was it created artificial scenarios and it played those matches based on the current team matchup and current formation and current defensive strategy or current game strategy, and it shows that India is likely to win 4,000 out of 10,000, around 40% matches. India looks to win, and it used also apart from team ratings, player attributes, and weather, it also added some randomness to these parameters to simulate realistic outcomes in a match scenario. So the main cards, the three main cards, they show the percentage and the counts of win, and then we have a confidence interval at the bottom. So you have 95% confidence interval, and it shows the range. So it's between 39 and 41, so around 40% probability of India winning. Same is true here. 95% confidence interval for draw and Argentina's win. And there is a pie chart which shows a visual distribution of outcomes. So it shows India win over here, it shows a draw probability, and it shows Argentina win over here. So it shows the visual distribution of outcomes. Then there is a score analysis section which has average goals for each team. So average goals for India is 0.51 plus minus 0.72. So India can score around 2 goals in a match, and same is true for Argentina. It shows clean sheets probability. So nearly half the matches could be clean sheets. That means one team winning all the way through and dominating the entire match. The high scoring probability is also here. Likelihood of high or low scoring game, which is 5 plus goals, so which is 79, so which is a very high percentage. And then we have a goal distribution histogram, which looks like this for India and looks like this for Argentina. So as you can see, very high probability for 0 goals scored, which are clean sheets for Argentina, and these are clean sheets for India. And then you have a small number of chances where there are around 2 goals and then more than 2 goals, and so on and so forth. So the same is true for Argentina, right? So it says clearly that advantage India favored. So let's now do something else. Let's stress test the system. Let's run, instead of 10,000 simulation, what if you want to run a high stress 1 million simulation? So let's select and drop down 1 million, and we have added home advantage here for India with the same random seed. Let's run this simulation. So you will see that there is a progress bar appearing here, which shows the simulations per second, and you will see the impact of a larger sample set. Win probability slightly comes down. They are more precise. The confidence interval are much narrower. So instead of 39 to 41, it's exactly 39.5 versus 39.7. This narrow confidence interval means that very highly likely this is the win probability of India or Argentina. And it completes pretty fast, and it allows you to add more options, like if you want to enable momentum, which is like winning streaks. So hot hand is something which is very common in basketball. So if you want to have momentum effect coming in, you can select momentum effect and then run the simulation so that it shows how a momentum effects impact the final goal outcome. And again, so this is a feature which is part of the system. You can add more variance, so you can to add more randomness. So if you want to add more chaos, you can make it chaotic by making it 0.5. And if the current team is performing really well, you can have the current form going up. So you can have 0.05, which is, it shows that current team is performing well, and minus 0.05 if the current team is not performing well. So you can have this minus 0.05 here, the current team is not performing well. You can set the fatigue level. So you can set the fatigue level as 0.8, which is very tired from back-to-back matches. India has 4 matches in 1 week. So you can change the fatigue level as you simulate the second and third and fourth matches, and then run again the simulation to see how the win probability quickly falls after fatigue level increasing, right? So these factors let us model real scenarios, like if your team is on a 5-game winning streak or playing their third game in 5 days. So you can then model how the team will be performing in the upcoming matches, right? So the power of this feature is that traditional match prediction, they run on coach's gut feel and basic statistics. What our system does is it has quantified probability backed by 1 million simulated matches, considering 12 player attributes, 11 players, 2 teams, weather, tactics, form, and fatigue, all built in. So that creates a scenario which is much which allows the quantified probability of win from our system to be much more reliable, and allows the use of data in sports. So this concludes our scenario 5. So in scenario 5, we saw the advanced simulation showcase, where we saw the most powerful feature, the Monte Carlo simulation with 10 million iterations. We did a basic simulation, we analyzed the results, we did a large scale simulation, we also did some advanced option demo, right? And we also saw the power of this feature. So with this, I will return back to the software page, and then what we'll do is we'll do some advanced feature showcase. So let's do some real-time squad validation, right? So in squad builder, let's try selecting only 9 players, right? If you select only 9 players, suppose, right? Only 9 out of 11 selected. So immediately the status box instead of green becomes red. It says only 9 out of 11 players selected, adjust squad, right? The formation shows as incomplete, right? Otherwise it would have shown that the formation is complete. It shows that the formation is incomplete. And example 5-5-3-2, which should be here, it shows current is 3-3-2, for example, right? So it's not matching to 5-3-2. So it says to adjust squad. So the benefit of this is it prevents invalid lineups from being analyzed, right? So this is the real-time squad validation. Next is intelligent player ratings. So what the system does is each player's overall rating is calculated based on position. So goalkeepers are heavily weighted on defending, aerial play, and pressure handling. Defenders are weighted on defending, tactical IQ, physical strength, and passing. Midfielders are overall rating is calculated on passing, technical skill, endurance, and tactical IQ. And forwards are rated on their finishing, speed, creativity, technical skill is prioritized, right? So we can quickly compare all three teams. So we can switch teams in drop down. So we can select, um, let's go back and select the default this team. Let's can select India and Belgium versus India. You can select Argentina versus India or Argentina versus Belgium. So all these probability is possible, and it shows each team analysis. So Belgium is ranked higher than Argentina, and so on and so forth, right? So and then it also allows you to see that how Argentina is ranked to India, for example, right? So we can also change how the system is performing. So if I go ahead and open my simulation engine, so what it does is it can we have clean player definitions here. So in this player definitions, we can add a new team by defining 11 to 20 players in this format, right? So you have player definitions coming here. This is, if you see here, this is the team class, and in team each class you have different playing positions, and then you have the performance modifiers, and then you have the player mapped here. So all these players are mapped over here. This is the India roster. You have the rosters for others as well, and then you have the players mapped to the teams here. This is the class player, right? So these definitions have speed, technical skill, and all other parameters mapped in. It also has metadata, red jersey number, seniority, stats, and nationality, and any other factors. So adding a new team is very easy. You can simply add new players, and the system will handle everything else automatically. So if you want to add new 10 players in India, you can just add their attributes, and the system will work. And so it shows that it's highly extendable if there is any change in the in the team scenario, and then you want to load additional players here and generate a new squad based on a newly defined team. You can do that. Let's select India here. So you can select all the new team players and then select the strategy, and automatically picks up the best team. So that kind of concludes our. So what we did currently was we did an advanced feature showcase with real-time squad validation. We did an intelligent player rating. We also did multi-team comparison, and we also showed that the simulation engine is extensible by adding a new definition of players and adding new players, so that the system is able to start simulating the new player and how they're going to perform any in any scenario as per a match condition. So with this, I will pause and I will take questions. If there are any questions on YouTube or on other social media. Okay, so if there are no such questions, then I'll wrap up today's stream, and I'll allow you folks to um, explore, and then come back for the next stream. Take care.